It's Week 5 of the National Football League. Coming up, we've got Aaron Rodgers. Solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Jets and the Vikings, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
It's a picturesque afternoon for football in the Northeast, and EA Sports comes to you from MetLife Stadium, just across the Hudson River from New York City. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A run there with Cook on first down, but it won't net him much, maybe a yard. Second down coming up. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 17 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked to him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
3rd and 8. Now Rodgers. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. The numbers for Williams a week ago, 10 carries, 62 yards.
Not a horrendous week last week running the ball, but definitely room for improvement for their numbers. No doubt they made some slight adjustments to how they're going to call plays this week in hopes they can kick those numbers up a notch.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. When you talk about this Jets defense, they've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem, when they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Dancing away at the 30. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Jets will take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down. Hall again on second down. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. 3rd and 3. Pickett. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over, 1st and 10. How about this? They'll try the option, left side. And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 20-yard line.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And that one too wide and incomplete. You look at this defense for the Vikings. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
They may be ranked 3rd against the pass in the league, but they're the best that I've seen so far. Sometimes the numbers don't.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just help receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
On play action, Rodgers. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Rodgers again now. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
And he's getting a workout here in this 1st quarter as he gets it away. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the 1st half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
We're scoreless after one. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. 3rd and 12. As they've got it as we resume action. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Screen play set up for Williams. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
And he is caught, and he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's a good job there, knuckling down as an offense. You're trying to avoid 3 and out at all costs. And after 2 straight incompletions, this one's on target, and they're able to keep the chains moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. And again, it's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Now Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Jalen Phillips, the former 1st rounder, getting in there for the sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their 1st sack of the contest.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Pickett. Pressure comes and down he goes. Quentin Williams breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming. Now Pickett. Under pressure, and down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And they will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Here's Rodgers. Throw right side, Wilson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That's a gain of 10. Makes it 3rd and 12.
To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? Got a man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered defensively. A disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start with two teams that have been division rivals since 1933. It's Chicago playing host to Detroit. And in the late stages of the first half, it's the Lions who are out in front. The Lions locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, it's off to the land to check on the Browns at home in the dog pound. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Brock Purdy, a touchdown pass in the victory. We got an excellent first half from the former MVP Aaron Rodgers. His touchdown pass is the only score of the game thus far, as his guys hold a 7-0 lead to this point.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Pickett looking to throw on second down. Short throw caught by Pitts. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Pickett now from the gun here. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Pickett back to throw. But the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Well, once again, here comes Garrett Wilson in the Jets offense. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
And when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Rodgers to throw on second down. That's complete right side to Lazard. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. On second down, a run with Hall. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Rodgers now to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Jalen Phillips able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on third down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for New York. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Back to throw, Pickett. Into the hands of London. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 5. Looking to throw, Pickett. Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. From the gun, here's Pickett. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Pickett now, 3rd and goal. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Sly able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. His throw incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On the counter, here's Williams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
4-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams. There's a nice move, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Pickett will look to throw it here. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Got an open man, it's Pickens. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 18. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Another try from the 19, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw here, Pickett. Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Here's Pickett. Right back to Cooper, and he got him again. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their #1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. Here's 1st and goal. Now Pickett. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. Charles, what a big drive late in the 4th quarter to take this lead.
And normally you're really excited if your offense has the ball late in the game. But I think this crew is really excited to have their defense go back out there because they haven't surrendered a point in the 4th quarter yet. They've helped make this comeback possible with their defensive play. Now they get a chance to finish this game off.
So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by a field goal, 46 seconds to go. Now they need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. It's complete. Lazard. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Man open. Here is Jones. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. That's pulled in by Wilson. He takes it across for a touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow.
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Extra point up and good by Shootout.
And the lead is now 14-10.
And he returns this to the 22.
So now it's the Vikings' turn, trailing by 4, 26 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
Pickett to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Bryce Hall.
And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down.
The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And his kick here is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. One final shot for Pickett.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for the Jets,